Okay, so today I'm going to do my debut video here, see how it goes. You're going to have to bear with me as I learn as I go along, but I'm doing some stenciling today with the Shiva Paintstiks and thought that would be a good way to start. I have a jacket here for a client of mine and we're going to do some stenciling. These are two stencils we're going to use. They're basically all the same image, but in different sizes, which is how I like to work, so you have a lot of scale to play around with. Put that over there. First thing I'm going to do is put down some tape, just blue painter's tape, extra wide. I'm going to put it down in this little dish, which is going to be my palette. And the reason I'm doing this is because it has sort of a slightly abrasive finish to it. And the Shiva Paintstiks are in a stick form, and we're not drawing with it, we're going to be using a stencil brush, so we need to get it out of the stick form and onto our palette. I'm using some iridescent Shiva Paintstiks today. Some of them I started, as you can see here, I started the stencils yesterday, so some of them are ready to go, and I'm just going to rub it on the tape here. Shiva Paintstiks are an oil-based painting bar, but not to be confused with other oil-based painting bars. Shiva Paintstiks have been formulated, the linseed oil that's used in them has been formulated to be less acidic, and then that's why we can use it on fabric. The other paint sticks that are out there, oil-based paint sticks, will eat away, erode, and discolor your fabric in a very short space of time. So we're going to stick to the Artist Paint Stick Shiva. I want to put a little purple on it eventually, and to show you how to do this, the stick comes with a skin on it basically, and we have to get that skin off to be able to get access to the paint itself. Some people like to use a paper towel and sort of rub it off. I don't have much success with that. I'm going to cut it off, and I'm actually going to break the bottom end of this because it's going to be a lot easier to get the skin off, and I'm just rubbing it on the palette anyways. I have an X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to make a little slit here, and I'm going to peel the skin off. Sometimes it comes off in one big clump, sometimes it's in little pieces like this is today. Be careful with your X-Acto knife. I'm just going to get it off here. It is oil-based, so if you are working where there's a carpet, you don't want to get these little pieces on your rug. Or if you have them on your floor, you want to pick them up, because otherwise you're going to track that oil. I'm just going to cut this end off to get the skin off there. The papers I have here are just from an old telephone book. I sort of like to repurpose those old books. And I'm just catching all the pieces of skin on it, and then I'll throw it away. Now I'm just going to rub this on too, so I have a little bit of this purple color on the palette. You see it there? Messy, messy. Always have a towel nearby to wipe your hands. These are the stencil brushes that I like to use for this. They're stubbier, as you could see, than the regular wall painting stencil brushes. They have short little hard bristle brushes, and I find that those work the best. I'm going to use the little one. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do, and I'm just going to move the camera here, hopefully you'll catch this. Okay. I'm going to use the bigger stencil, and because it has a lot of fine lines in it, I'm going to actually spray the back of it with Sulky KK 2000 temporary spray adhesive. I find that that works really well. I'm just going to spray the back. Okay, and then I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to move you too. Hopefully this will work. Move you over here. Okay. And I'm going to lay the stencil down right here. Take my towel. My stencil's still dirty from last night, so I'm going to use the towel and just make sure it's stuck down there where all those little lines are. Okay. Now I also want to show you underneath I have, this is a silicone mat. It's kind of has paint on it, but it's called a grip, and it really helps hold the slippery fabric in place while you're stenciling. I also have my cutting board underneath because it needs a nice hard surface. My table here has a little bit of a cushion surface for other techniques, so I just pull out the cutting board to make that work for this. I'm going to slide this over so it's a bit more in your view. And I'm going to throw this piece of the skin away. I don't have a problem with that. Hopefully you can see everything. I'm going to take my small little stubby stencil brush and I'm going to pick up the paint from the tape and just start painting in. There's a piece of skin, wayward skin. I always like to use more than one color, 2 or 3 even. It helps to keep what you're working on to not look flat, and unless of course that's what you're looking for, a nice flat graphic image. I tend to like things that are more organic, and so I use several colors at a time to just give some variation and have it actually not be flat. Okay, so I'm going to need some more green here. Just going to rub it on. And my towel, clean my hands off. Actually, I might just put it on there. And what I'm doing is I'm just putting the green down in different areas, doing the green first, and then I'm going to go in and do the yellow. Just add them in kind of random. I mean, I'm not looking for an exact replication of how this plant would be in life, in nature. I'm just looking for it to not be flat. Okay, now I'm going to go in here and get some of this yellow gold color. Using the same brush, I don't mind that it mixes in this case. If I was using a very dark color, like the purple or something very different, I'd probably change brushes for that color. But the green and the yellow are so close together that I don't mind. I need a little more green. There we go. For some reason the green doesn't last as long as the gold. I figured that out. Oopsie, that little piece came up. It's not going to worry about it. Okay, so while I'm finishing this up, I'm going to turn you off because you don't need to watch the whole thing, and see you back in a few minutes. Okay, another way to get a little bit of variation, now that they're pretty much filled in, I'm just going to add more and make it more opaque in certain areas of the leaves and less opaque in other areas. It's pretty random. In fact, it's totally random. So as I say, I like to imitate nature, but I'm also not interested in exact replication. I want more of the nuances. So I'm just gonna use up the paint I have on my palette here. Okay, and then I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, get you closer to it. You can see it a little better. Now this is gonna be crazy. Camera moving. Gosh. Okay. I think that about does it. I'm gonna wipe my hands off, make sure they're clean, make sure there's no little pieces of random skin everywhere. And then I'm going to peel the stencil back. Remember, I had that temporary glue on it to hold it in place. And there. And there you are. As you can see, I went right over the seam. Just wanted to camouflage that seam a little bit. The Shiva Paintsticks take a while to dry, sometimes as long as a week. And it's really will behoove you to take that long, wait for it to dry to your touch of your hand, and then you can heat set it with your iron. And that's it for now. I'm going to see you in a few minutes. I'll go back to the beginning and I want to show you how I'm going to use the smaller stencil to accent what's already there. See you in a bit. Okay, here we are again. I am going to add another element to this using a different size of the same image. And you can see this image and this one are the large versions, and this is the middle. I went ahead and put a small one there for you to see, and now I'm going to do another small one here. I've already sprayed it with my temporary adhesive. I'm going to place it down here. Use my towel to get it down flat as best I can. And I'm overlapping some of the leaves that were already there. Because this is smaller and I'm doing it in a darker color, it's actually going to look like it's in the background, even though I'm overlapping some of the leaves. I'm going to go ahead and use my small brush again, and I'm not going to bother cleaning it because I'm not going to go back in that much with the gold, but certainly not with the green. I'll put some gold down here. So I've got gold, I have copper, and I have, it's either grape or purple. They call it iridescent purple. So I have those three colors. There's my brush. And I'm going to go in there. I'm going to do a little gold. Got a better vantage point for you this time. As I said, I'm just learning what's the best way to do this with the videos. You can see, going in, putting some gold. And I'm going to go back in now with the copper and the purple. I'm just sort of blending them together. As I said, it is oil paint, so you can mix them really easily, just as if you were working on a canvas. They're not super opaque. It's a look that I don't really want. So the application of my paint can stay pretty thin, which means it'll dry faster. This level of application would probably be ready to heat set in about 3 days. As long as it's dry to the touch, doesn't come off on your finger, you can go ahead and steam set it. But as I said earlier, if you have a heavy application, it could take as long as a week. And a thin application, very thin, light application, can take as little as 24 hours. Okay, I think I want to put a little bit more gold in here. Put some of that purple and copper again. A little variation. Okay, and I'm going to try to get you a little closer while I take the stencil off. So hold on and get you in there a little closer. Pull the stencil off. gently. And there you have it. Pull out. You can see the overall look. And that's it for now. I will post a photo of it finished, but right now I'm going to go ahead and get some more of these images down, and we'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.